everybody. Today I decided to make a video comparing the two air rifles that I have here. I've already made a video on the Hatsan 125 sniper, and has pretty much all the accuracy details and power details there. Then shortly afterwards I acquired a Benjamin Marauder in 25 caliber also, and wanted to compare these two. In my opinion, the Hatsan 125 sniper is probably the best nitro piston break barrel air rifle out there. It does everything exceptionally well. It's exceeded my my thoughts of accuracy for a break barrel, and the amount of power that it has is amazing. So enough about this rifle. One thing that I did fit both air rifles with was a center point scope, which I bought that at Walmart. The center point scope, it's a 4 to 16 power. It has a mil-dot reticle. It's also illuminated in red and black. Red and green. But the main thing is that the parallax setting starts at 10 yards and goes all the way up to 200, and then obviously infinity. But for the price, you can't beat the value here, because it comes with a very hefty set of rings for the scope. It comes with dust caps, and the rings are actually made to be mounted on a Picatinny rail, which is perfect for the Hatsan 125. On the Benjamin Marauder, though, I did have to use the old rings that came with the Hatsan scope. I had to use that for this because this one comes with a dovetail scope base. So, but that's the only thing. Other than that, they both have the exact same scope, which, like I said, for value, for the money, you can't beat the value. I'm gonna put this rifle down now because, although Hatsan supplies this, bipod, it's not something that I would recommend, just leaving a rifle up like that on that bipod, because it'll fall over. I almost didn't catch it once. I was just able to catch it before it actually hit the table the one time, and I learned my lesson very quickly from then on, so it's laying flat now. Let's talk about, since we're on bipods, let's talk about the bipod on the Benjamin Marauder. I bought a UTG bipod, and it comes with this adapter that you adapt to a sling stud. So you basically just put that on, and it has a little Picatinny rail in the front, so you can mount the bipod. So that's very helpful. The other thing that's really cool about this bipod is that since it's so short, it's perfect for the hand pump that I got with the package from Pyramid Air. By the way, Pyramid Air, I ordered this on Wednesday. They had it here on Friday. That's how quick these guys work, and that was amazing to me too. So that gives you more than enough space or length to hook that up and pump the air rifle. I decided to get the pump because I'm not one of these I'm not one of these guys to go to the store and get a scuba tank refilled or that kind of stuff. And plus, I'd never owned a PCP before, and I wanted to try what the pump was all about. I'll tell you now, from 0 psi to 3000 psi, it'll take you the better part of 20 minutes to pump that up. So what I do now is I only shoot 1 or 2 magazines through the rifle, and then I'll pump it up again, and I'll do the same thing all over again, because you don't want to deplete the tank and spend half an hour just trying to pump the thing back up again. So that is a downfall, but that's only if you do extensive amounts of target shooting. So yeah, pumping isn't the way to go. But since I bought this air rifle for mainly hunting, I'm not going to be pumping it every 10 minutes when I'm hunting with this thing. Now, as to the value of the gun and that's one thing that's completely amazing to me is the it definitely satisfies my need for accuracy, my need for power, and my need for workmanship. Um, you know, compared to all the other PCPs out there, um, with the technology that this has and the features and stuff, you cannot beat the price. It's pretty much America's #1 selling PCP air rifle, and it's that for a very good reason. And if not just the USA, it's probably in the whole world. I would suggest for sure get the 25 caliber. It really packs a wallet, and for longer distances, it really does the job. Also, when it comes to hunting, the bigger the pellet, pretty much the better the knockdown power. Um, you know, if you put a well-placed shot, you know it's going down. There's no maybes or any of that other stuff. So definitely 25 caliber is the way for me, or to go for me. Let me show you a little bit of the accuracy that I've been able to acquire. I've just for comparison, the video that I did for the 125 sniper shows its accuracy test a lot more in detail. But here's a 5-shot group that I shot with the Hatsan 125 sniper at 20 yards. That's just for comparison to the Benjamin Marauder. So when I started with the Benjamin Marauder, I started sighting it in. It was pretty much dead center. It was just really high. So I took a second shot and adjusted for that. And so I did a first 5-shot group at 20 yards with Benjamin destroyers. And that to me was a really tight group. I said, wow, that's pretty amazing. Then I used Predator Polymags, and look at that. That's amazingly tight. You can cover that with a dime. Then I used the H&N Field Target and Trophy. I had a flyer here, and I'm pretty sure that wasn't me. It must have been the pellet. But either way, still got a decent 4-shot group there. And actually the H&N Field and Target and Trophy in the Hatsan kind of do the same thing. You'll have a group and 1 or 2 will fly off. So I don't know. I don't think the pellets are that great for for these specific air rifles. I tried the Crow Magnums, and they worked very well in the Marauder. Very tight group at 20 yards. I let a friend of mine shoot, and at this point we swapped to JSBs, Exact Kings, and he's got a 4-shot group there and a flyer, and I know that's him for sure, because then I shot the rifle and did a 5-shot group, and look at that. That's literally just a hole that's slightly bigger than the pellet. That to me is completely amazing. I've never been able to do that with an air rifle at 20 yards. But then again, like I said, I've never owned a PCP air rifle until now, so now I know what I was missing out on. The other thing you'll find with these air rifles is they do have a bit of a problem. One has kind of like an excessive length problem. It is longer than most air rifles, and actually most centerfire rifles for that matter. But it will fit in a flambeau, hard case, or most of those other hard plastic hard cases. The Benjamin Marauder, suffers from here basically. With the scope and everything, it's pretty wide from here, so this one won't fit in a plastic hard case, and especially with the bipod, it's really tough. So for that one, I was able to use this Cabela's padded case, and this was made for a rifle scope, and this works excellent. You're able to fit the rifle in there, but you do have to take off the bipod also. So you take off the bipod, put in the rifle. I don't fold the bipod, and I just put it right back here, and with the padding and everything, it won't scratch anything up. So that's just a little bit of a tip. The other cool thing is, it's got the pouch, and you can keep all the pellets in there. So that's really helpful. If you're going hunting, you pump up your air rifle, and you're good to go. You put it in the case. One thing is, when they ship these air rifles, they put this rubber cover that goes over the bolt handle to protect it so it doesn't get scratched or dented or something. I'll give you a closer look at that. So, but I like leaving it on just for that exact same reason, because then it protects it, and I'm not worried about it. You know, if you're wearing rings or something like that, you're not scratching it. You know, and just food for thought. But if you're in the market looking for air rifles, I'll definitely look at these two. I think they're at the top of their game for what they are. It's very hard to beat the value, you know, the value you get for the money. Um, obviously, the Hatsan 125 is literally half the price of what the Benjamin Marauder is. But the biggest difference, for instance, isn't just the price. The Marauder does exceptionally well. The Hatsan does very well. So the Hatsan isn't that far behind the Benjamin Marauder, but then you got to look at the technology. This uses a gas piston, and that uses pressurized compressed air, basically. And you know, so there's really hardly any moving parts in this air rifle when you fire when you fire a shot. With this one, you know, you really have to put up with that nitro piston, you know, going forward, and even then, they've really reduced the noise and reduced the amount of vibration and shock. So this the Hatsan 125 for a nitro, you know, for what it is, being a nitro piston, is ahead of its game. It's when it comes to break barrel rifles, this is probably the top of the line. And obviously there are more expensive, you know, nitro piston air rifles out there, but I don't think they can really beat this air rifle in quality, not by much anyway if they do. When it comes to the PCPs, I think that the Benjamin Marauder is at the top of its game. You know, you can't really argue with the sales, and it's literally one of the best selling air rifles in the United States right now, especially in the PCP you know, category. So that's because Crossman did everything right with this one. The trigger is absolutely smooth. I mean, look at the accuracy that you're getting out of this thing. You know, it's just got a shorter barrel, which makes it amazingly quiet. I actually think it's a little bit more quiet. The Benjamin's a little bit more quiet than the Hatsan 125. Anyway, so there's my take on these two air rifles. I love them both. It's really tough to decide when I do go hunting which one I'm going to take. I think I'm just going to have to take it in turns, and that way none of them will argue over who's going to go out. But you know, if you're in the market for an air rifle, you know, definitely I would say look at one of these two. You know, go set up some targets out in the woods and, you know, shoot them full of holes.